I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay.
Hi guys, welcome back. I wanted to thank you for tuning into my very first video there a couple days ago. It means a lot that so many people have commented and written out to me personally, and I've taken some of the suggestions to try and improve things this time. So I'm going to try and make this a little bit more natural, maybe not so many cuts. And I hope the camera is a little bit better angled here. Today is my 1 year checkup for with my oncology team at Cancer Care. So I'm pretty excited about that. Also a little nervous. It's a little bit nerve-wracking going to any of these exams. I have no reason to fear that anything is wrong. I have had no symptoms besides pain, which is a side effect of the surgery, which I've recently hopefully had fixed. I'm feeling a lot better these days, so that's fantastic. But I don't really have anything that's indicating any issues with cancer, so that's really exciting, and I think it'll be a good exam. So I am heading into my 1 year checkup appointment with my oncology team at Cancer Care Manitoba. And I don't know about you guys, but I always get super nervous at these appointments. Pulling into the parking lot, my hands get sweaty. I get a little bit nervous and shaky. And yeah, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking because you never know. I mean, I have no reason to think it's going to be anything but a normal checkup. But yeah, it's just scary. So anyways, I'm heading in there, and yeah, it's I'll let you guys know at the end of it how things go. Top 5 things that I do to kind of prep for these exams. I have been taking steps for my mental health to do things to kind of make myself feel better about it. 1, get a good night's sleep. So that's key. I find anytime that there's a stressful situation or appointment, it's really important to get a good night's sleep. It just helps you manage stress better. I know that's one of the things that my therapist we've talked about a lot, is making sure that that's a priority in wellness, is getting a good night's sleep. So I had a really good night's sleep last night. I haven't been sleeping very well because of the medication that I'm on, but I had a great sleep last night, so that's fantastic. Number 2, have a shower. I had a great, nice hot shower this morning. Got myself all clean, shaved my legs. I have a brand new pair of Power Socks for today's exam that I went out and got for myself because it's a special occasion. It's 1 year of stress and fatigue and pain and everything else that comes with this. So yeah, 1 year. Power Socks, my Star Wars socks. I'm pretty pumped about them. And then I put on a nice bra because again, it's all about trying to make myself feel better. It's not for anybody else. I want to boost my self-confidence during these exams. So I put on a nice bra. Anyways, did my hair and put on a little bit of makeup. Again, just want to do the things in my life that give me self-confidence. So shower, shave my legs, put on my Power Socks, do my hair, and do my makeup. Yeah, so what does it usually involve, the exams? It's a pap smear with my oncology gynecologist. They do a pap, they feel around internally and ask me about how I'm doing. I was also part of a clinical trial, so usually I meet with the clinical trial nurse, and she gives me a whole whack of paperwork to fill out while I'm there, which is like 3 million questions about how I'm feeling, basically. So my story started about 6 years ago with early detection of high-grade squamous intraepithelial lesions, or HSIL, on my normal routine pap smear. So that got me sent to a specialty clinic called a colposcopy clinic, where they biopsied my cervix and then lasered off the abnormal cells. So they basically, if you think of your cervix as like a donut, they lasered off all the outer layer, and that was hopefully curative. I continued to see them every 6 months to a year, and they do a Pap and check for HPV, which I had originally had HPV strain 16 with that detection of HSIL as well. Yeah, it was like a more involved Pap smear going to the colposcopy clinic. They do the Pap smear with a special camera, and they also paint the cervix. So again, if you think of the cervix as a donut, they paint the outside of the cervix or whatever they can see with a special iodine solution. And what that does, if there's any abnormal cell growth or tumors, then they kind of glow. So that's kind of what the colposcopy, and other than that, they would just do like a regular Pap smear. In October 2018, when I went there, I asked for a biopsy, which I had originally had at my first visit, because I was having some really mild symptoms. I had a little bit of bleeding and pain with intercourse. And it wasn't anything that I was concerned about. It wasn't really affecting things. But I know, and I knew, having been followed at the colposcopy clinic, that those were early warning signs that maybe there were some cellular changes going on. I asked them to do a biopsy. The doctor complied, even though she's like, well, we don't really see anything that would cause us concern, and that's the only time we would usually do the biopsies, because they're more invasive, is if we have something to be concerned about. But she said, yeah, sure, we'll do a biopsy. We haven't done one for a while. And so she did. Well, it's a good thing that I had asked for her to do that biopsy, because those results came back as AIS, or Adenocarcinoma In Situ. And you can read all about this in a lot more detail on my blog, which I will post the link for you guys. So you can I'll also post some reference links for you in the show notes, where you can go to the Canadian Cancer Society or the American Cancer Society, and they have really good references on the types of cells and what it all means, what's HSIL, what's AIS, that sort of thing. But I was told I had AIS after that biopsy. What AIS is Adenocarcinoma In Situ, and so that is cancer cells, but they don't know if they're invasive or if they're just sitting on the surface. So they sent me for another procedure called a LEEP procedure, and that LEEP procedure basically takes a cone, a section of your cervix, and removes it, and then they send that bigger sample to see if those cancer cells are invasive. So are they going into the tissue, or are they just sitting on the surface, like a skin cancer sort of idea. So I had the LEEP done in November, and then I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited for those results. It felt like forever, but it was only 2 weeks. I waited for those results, and then on December 18th, I'll never forget that day, I was told that I had invasive. The doctor called me and said they did find it was invasive adenocarcinoma, and the sample that they had positive margins on all sides, which means that the cancer cells extended or invaded into this tissue past the point of what they did with the LEEP procedure. So that was bad news. That meant that I had invasive cancer. She said at that point in time they were staging it as stage 1A2, and that I was scheduled for a radical hysterectomy for January 28th tentatively, and that I would meet my surgical team on January 7th, and my file would be transferred to cancer care. So yeah, that's my story. I went to cancer care and had a radical hysterectomy, which I'll talk about another time. And that's how I ended up here now. 1 year checkup though today, and everything is great. Everything's looking really good. They have hopefully successfully got it all. There's no signs of reoccurrence. And I'm a happy baby. So,
I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. I will not feel bad today. I'll be happy if I want to. I will be the sun.